Hi, Sue. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you. This is Sue Hawkes, CEO of EOS and certified EOS implementer. I am here with Susan Denk. Can you tell us a little bit about you and your company, please?
You bet. So as you know, I'm the owner and founder of White Crane Construction. We're a design, build, remodeling company focused primarily here in the Twin Cities in the first ring of suburbs. We've been at it for a long time. We love our clients. We believe that we can help you on your journey as you make your house truly a home.
Love it. So how are you right now amidst all these chaotic times?
Wow, I have been up and down. So good weekend, good start to the week. Spent some time in the office this weekend. That was helpful. Had to make a decision, which was one of my toughest ones, a week ago to board up my company. We happen to be in the 3rd precinct in Minneapolis, and that was just such a heart pain that it took a lot out of me. Anyhow, we're well. We were fortunate in that, as people might know, neighbors reacted, and we were able to help keep the peace, right? Keep the peace in a very challenging time in Minneapolis and in Minnesota. So,
well, my heart goes out to you guys because you're at the epicenter of all of it on top of COVID and what was already challenging times. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad the building's fine, and I'm glad you're all safe and well. Coming back to EOS, which is far simpler at this point, how has EOS helped you through all of this, navigating everything?
well, we've had our first quarterly in the time of COVID. So that actually went very well. It was our first opportunity to do it via Zoom call. And what we discovered was, now, as in this particular case, as you know, Sue, with White Crane, this was our quarter to do it without you as a professional facilitator for us.
Yeah.
We had our general manager step into that role, and he was able to capture things in a way that worked well on Zoom. So you also know that I talk a lot. So this was a pretty effective way to go through a quarterly. And then because we're in the time of COVID, of course, we thought pretty seriously, we always do, but even more seriously about our rocks. Mm-hmm. So as we developed our rocks, we were also looking at a revised VTO. So to be able to capture what's happened in residential remodeling is that, like so many businesses, we fell off a cliff for we fell completely off for 2 weeks. 2 weeks didn't look so good. And then, people are in their homes, and what's happened is we've had a huge spike in our leads and opportunities. Wow. So awesome news. But when we take 4 weeks of production out of that design process as a design build firm, we know we're going to take a revenue hit for the year. Okay. So we had to readjust our goals, which is what we did in our VTO. So we did a Rev 1 to think about what does the company look like in a worst case scenario, and what do those financials look like. So that's how we've been using our EOS tools.
I love it. And I love that as a graduated client, where we just see each other a couple of times a year, you guys know how to adjust, you know how to pivot with this. You did a beautiful job. And in fact, when I met with Joe, we sent him some of the stuff to simplify it on Zoom. So I'm glad to hear that worked. And I'm glad that it was successful, because again, you can't get time back when that's your inventory. So thank you. This is useful for every service provider in the listening audience. So last question for you. Is there any one tool that you lean on more than another right now during these challenging times?
Well, that's a great question. I gave it a little bit of thought. So I'm going to go to what I'm leaning on is our accountability chart. I'm doing some deep, deep thinking about our accountability chart and where it's not just coming, it's not being in the time of COVID. It's what does White Crane look like outside the time of COVID? And it just, so we've been together doing this for a while. And as you've encouraged and also encouraged Joe to look deeply at that accountability chart. And so we continue to look at that and then help inform right person, right seat. And I'll also tell you that these tools have, we've worked at core values too. So our core values were solid, but we've used some very specific EOS reading and tools to rethink a little bit about core values and yet take another layer off of that piece. So I think we're a stronger, leaner company as a result of it. And the other thing that EOS tools have given me is a guidepost. So we're tracking, we're still very deeply tracking progress.
Well, kudos to you guys. That's music to my ears. You know, I'm just sitting here so proud of you, like the parent with their child going, yes, structure first. And, you know, truly core values and core focus are the bedrock you can stand on. And the fact that that has strengthened your culture at a time when it's completely challenging just advocates so nicely for all of this. So Susan, as always, a pleasure to talk to you. You're a phenomenal leader with a phenomenal company. Look up White Crane. Thank you so much for making time.
You bet. Sue, namaste.
Namaste.